The clock is ticking, but you don't know it yet. In the world of nuclear warfare, the transition from peace to total destruction happens in a fraction of a heartbeat. Welcome to Episode 1 of the Atomic Blueprint. Today, we are breaking down the most critical 60 seconds of your life. If you haven't subscribed to Know All Aspects yet, do it now. This series is designed to be your definitive survival manual. Please like and share this video, because in the next 60 seconds, your survival depends entirely on what you know and how fast you act. Imagine a Tuesday morning. The sun is rising, people are commuting, and the world feels normal. Then it happens. At exactly 0 seconds, a nuclear warhead detaches from its re-entry vehicle miles above your city. If it is an airburst, the detonation happens at an altitude designed to maximize destruction. The silent sky suddenly transforms. A point of light appears, smaller than a pinhead, but brighter than anything the human eye was ever meant to see. This is the flash. Within microseconds, the temperature at the center of the explosion reaches millions of degrees. This is hotter than the surface of the sun. The air surrounding the blast is instantly incinerated, turning into a glowing ball of fire, the mushroom cloud's progenitor. If you are looking directly at this light, your retinas will be instantly scorched. This is called flash blindness. Even from tens of miles away, the thermal energy is so intense it can cause permanent damage. At this exact moment, you have zero time to think, only time to react. The light travels at 186,000 miles per second. It reaches you instantly. If you feel that sudden, overwhelming heat on your skin, or see a light that washes out the world, you must understand that the clock has started. You are now in the most dangerous environment on Earth. Most people will stand still, frozen in confusion or curiosity. That curiosity is fatal. Your first instinct must be to drop and cover. Do not look for the source of the light. Do not try to take a photo. Do not run to the window to see what happened. Every second you spend standing is a second you are exposed to the primary thermal wave. You must drop to the ground immediately, face down, and cover your head with your arms. By placing your body flat against the earth, you reduce your profile and protect your vital organs from the initial radiation burst. This is the beginning of the fight for your life. Stay down, keep your eyes closed, and wait. The worst is yet to come. As you lie face down on the ground, the first 3 seconds are dominated by thermal radiation. This isn't just heat. It is a massive wave of infrared and ultraviolet energy moving at the speed of light. It lasts for several seconds, and it is the primary cause of fires and skin burns in a nuclear event. If you are within the lethal radius, anything flammable, dry leaves, wooden fences, curtains inside windows, will spontaneously ignite. This is the phenomenon known as thermal ignition. Understanding the science of thermal shadowing is your best defense here. Thermal radiation travels in a straight line. If there is a solid object, like a brick wall, a concrete barrier, or even a large tree between you and the blast, you are in a shadow. Inside this shadow, the temperature is significantly lower. This is why dropping behind any solid structure is vital. Even the shadow of a parked car or a curb can provide a small margin of safety from the direct heat. During these first 5 seconds, the skin on the back of your hands and neck will feel like they are being pressed against a hot iron. This is the infrared energy being absorbed by your body. If you are wearing dark clothing, you are at higher risk because dark colors absorb more heat than light colors. This is a scientific fact often overlooked in survival movies. Light-colored, loose-fitting clothing can actually reflect a portion of this thermal energy, potentially preventing third-degree burns. If you are indoors during the flash, stay away from windows. The thermal wave will shatter the glass instantly, but before the glass breaks, the heat will pass through it. This can set your furniture, carpets, and clothing on fire within milliseconds. If you are near a window, the flash-to-bang time is your only warning. But remember, the heat comes first. The thermal wave is responsible for nearly 30% of the total energy of the bomb. It prepares the battlefield for the second killer, the shockwave. As you lie there, holding your breath, protecting your head, you might think the danger has passed because the light is fading. It hasn't. The atmosphere has just been displaced, and a wall of high-pressure air is currently screaming toward your position at supersonic speeds. If you are on Facebook, please share this post now. Most people don't know that the heat is just the beginning. The physical destruction is about to arrive. You have perhaps 10, 15, maybe 30 seconds, depending on your distance from ground zero. Use this time to brace yourself. Do not get up. The ground is your only friend right now. Grip something solid if you can. The air is about to become a hammer. Between 10 and 30 seconds after the flash, the blast wave arrives. This is the most destructive physical force of a nuclear explosion. As the fireball expands, it pushes the surrounding air outward with such force that it creates a wall of compressed air, known as overpressure. This air doesn't just blow like a strong wind, it hits like a solid object. If you are inside a building that isn't reinforced concrete, the overpressure will likely collapse the roof and push the walls inward. The physics of the blast wave are complex. It consists of two phases, the positive phase and the negative phase. In the positive phase, the air is pushed outward with immense pressure, smashing everything in its path. In the negative phase, a vacuum is created at the center of the blast, and the air rushes back in to fill the void. This means if the wind didn't knock your house down the first time, the return wave might pull it apart from the opposite direction. This is why you must remain in the drop and cover position for at least 2 minutes. One of the greatest dangers during the blast wave is fragmentation. This is a polite scientific term for flying debris. The shock wave turns ordinary objects, glass shards, pieces of wood, bricks, and even vehicles, into lethal projectiles. If you are standing near a window, the glass will not just break, it will be pulverized into thousands of tiny needles moving at hundreds of miles per hour. This is why face down is the only safe position. Projecting your eyes, your neck, and your lungs is paramount. If you are in an urban environment, the canal effect happens. The shock wave gets funneled between tall buildings, increasing its speed and pressure. This can turn a survivable street into a death trap. However, if you are in a basement or a reinforced concrete structure, your chances of survival expand exponentially. Concrete is incredibly resistant to overpressure. If you are in a subway station or a deep underground parking lot, you might not even feel the full force of the hammer. But even if the building stands, the ground shock can be devastating. The energy of the blast is so massive that it travels through the earth like an earthquake. This can rupture gas lines, water mains, and sewer pipes instantly. As the shock wave passes, the silence that follows is terrifying. But do not be fooled. The air is now filled with dust, smoke, and toxic fumes. The primary blast is over, but the environment has become chemically and physically unstable. If you are finding this breakdown helpful, please comment below with your thoughts on urban survival. Your engagement helps know all aspects reach more people. Stay down. The 60-second mark is approaching, and the invisible killer is waking up. While the fire and the wind are the most visible killers, another silent force has already done its work. The electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. This happens within the first billionth of a second of the detonation. As the gamma rays from the blast hit the atmosphere, they strip electrons from the air molecules, creating a massive surge of electrical energy. This surge travels at the speed of light, expanding outward for hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles. The EMP does not hurt humans directly, but it destroys the nervous system of modern civilization. It creates a massive voltage spike in anything that conducts electricity. Light poles act like giant antennas, gathering the energy and sending it into the grid, blowing out transformers and power plants instantly. Microchips, the tiny brains inside your phone, your laptop, and your modern car's engine control unit, are fried. In an instant, the digital world dies. If you were trying to call your family, the call dropped. If you were looking at a map on your phone, the screen went black. If you were driving a modern vehicle, the engine likely sputtered and died, leaving you stranded in the middle of a road that is about to be hit by a shockwave. This is why we recommend keeping an analog survival kit. An old-fashioned map, a manual compass, and a mechanical watch are now your most valuable navigational tools. The loss of the grid means no water pumps, no gas pumps, and no cooling systems for nuclear power plants or food storage. You are now truly on your own. The silence that follows the EMP and then the blast is a heavy, unnatural silence. No sirens, no humming of electricity, no background noise of a city, just the sound of fire and crumbling stone. This psychological shock is one of the hardest aspects to overcome. You must stay focused. Panic is your secondary enemy. If you are watching this on YouTube, please share this video to your community tabs. People need to understand that pre-digital skills are about to become the only currency that matters. During the first 60 seconds, while the world is literally falling apart, your ability to remain calm amidst the technological blackout will determine your next move. By the 45-second mark, the immediate physical violence of the blast wave has likely subsided in your area, but the air is now thick with primary radiation. This is the initial burst of neutrons and gamma rays released during the actual explosion. If you are within the radiation radius, you have already received a dose. The goal now is to prevent further exposure. This is the transition from immediate survival to radiological survival. You must begin to look for a better shelter, but only after the air has settled. The fireballs have reached their peak altitude, and the radioactive debris is beginning its long, slow climb into the stratosphere. The clock is now 50 seconds. Your window of opportunity to find a permanent shelter is opening, but the risks are changing. We are now at the 60-second mark. 1 minute has passed since the world changed forever. You have survived the flash, you have survived the thermal wave, and you have survived the hammer of the blast wave. You are alive, but the environment around you is now a graveyard of radiation and fire. This is the moment where most people make their fatal mistake. They stand up, they start wandering, or they try to head toward the smoke to help. Stop. Look at the sky. If you see a massive, dark, billowing cloud rising like a mushroom, you are looking at the source of your next great threat. That cloud is filled with millions of tons of vaporized earth, steel, and concrete, all of it highly radioactive. Within the next 10 to 20 minutes, this debris will start falling back to Earth as fallout. You have a very limited time to find a high protection factor shelter. Your priority now is shielding, distance, and time. You need to put as much mass as possible between yourself and the outside air. A basement is good, but the center of a large concrete building is better. If you are in a house, move to the lowest level and stay away from the walls. Stack books, furniture, or bags of soil against the walls to increase the mass thickness. Every inch of concrete or earth reduces the radiation dose you receive. As we conclude this first episode, remember the lessons of the first 60 seconds. Drop and cover, face down, eyes closed, stay down for at least 2 minutes, and ignore your dead technology. Survival is a series of correct decisions made under extreme pressure. You have made it through the first minute. Now, the real struggle for long-term survival begins. In our next episode, we will discuss the fallout physics. We will teach you how to track the invisible dust, how to use the wind to your advantage, and how to survive the first 48 hours when the radiation is at its most lethal. If you found this atomic blueprint informative, please subscribe to know all aspects. Like this video and comment with the word "survive" to let us know you are with us. Check our Facebook page for the emergency kit checklist that corresponds with this episode. Share this series with everyone you know. In a nuclear world, the only thing more contagious than fear is knowledge. This has been the first step in your journey to resilience. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay alive. I am your narrator, and this is the Atomic Blueprint. We will see you in the next episode, where we face the invisible pulse.